Singapore, we are Singapore. I'm Tony, I'm the owner for Box Tours for the Thinking Traveller. So here are my 10 tips about visiting Singapore. So part 1, bring your Wi-Fi device, your smartphone with you, okay? Singapore is very accessible. This is one of the highest penetration of 3G, 4G devices in the world. And we got websites for everything. You want to know what is there to eat, what is there to do, just go on the website. So some of my favorite websites include godare.sg, how to get around. Another one would be Hungry Go Where, that tells you for whatever locality you're at, what is the best foods that's actually available. Buy a SIM card. You can get a SIM card from mobile phone and mobile phone accessory shops. And remember, when you do go there, bring your passport with you. Tip number 2, before you actually come here, do check the calendar on the website for yoursingapore.com. That is the tourism board's official website. And also check the public holidays calendar for Singapore, because you might be just lucky, your visit might coincide with one of the 10 major public holidays of the year, and most of our public holidays are actually ethnic or religious festivals, and there will be bound to be a bazaar, exhibition, a free concert that's available. Join the fun, get to learn a bit more about our local culture. Item number 3, maps. So when you're traveling around, okay, don't worry too much about getting your Google Maps on your mobile phone if you're worried about that. There are plenty of free maps that's actually available. You can get them at the ports or at the hotel or at the hostel. Grab one of these, because in there will be a MRT, Mass Rapid Transit map, and of course of the attractions, and also some information about the major shopping centers and commercial buildings, just to be able to scribble on it and how to get around. The average stay in Singapore is about 4 days and 3 nights, divided up, okay? But focus in on zones so as to make it efficient. Don't try to travel across the country in a single day. It's not really that easy for you to walk across. The country is roughly about 50 kilometers by 30 kilometers. It will take you at least a day to actually walk around the island, so don't bother. Focus on districts. My opinion, day 1, try to do Chinatown and Singapore River. Day 2, try to do Little India with Kampong Glam and Bugis neighborhood. Day 3, try to do Orchard Road with the Colonial District, and perhaps in the night time you can consider doing night safari. And on the alternative nights, you may consider going to one of our famous clubs or dining venues like the hawker centers. If you need a recommendation on what are the better hawker centers that locals like to go to, the hidden find right now is Old Airport Road Market. Really awesome place, over 100 stalls there that's available. And for day 4, do the places that's slightly out of the city center. It could be Sentosa, you could be visiting one of our smaller islands, you could be visiting characteristic neighborhood like where Box Hostel is, in the Joo Chiat Katong neighborhood. So these are all possible. So you can actually see and get the best of Singapore within 4 days. Next tip, the transport card in Singapore, debit transport card in Singapore is called EZ-Link card. You can get one of these at the MRT station. You do have to pay a $5 service fee, but this is much better value than buying the Singapore Tourist Pass, which would cost you about $10 a day. As a tourist, normally you will not spend more than $5 per day in trains and buses, so $10 a day is a bit of a waste of money. So buy one of these, this is worth it. You can bring it home with you, you can give it one to your friends, and when you do return it, you can actually get the remaining value on a debit card back. You can also use this card to even make purchases, even at McDonald's, which you shouldn't go in Singapore. I didn't say that. So you may want to think about it. EZ-Link card, which you can get at the MRT station. Next item, I know that some of us, when we do travel, we like to visit attractions, and of course, attraction tickets prices sometimes can be a little bit expensive. So where to get cheap tickets in Singapore? Ask the hotel or the hostel. You normally will be able to get a 10% discount, but if you only buy the tickets when you are at the door of the attraction, you normally would pay full rates. Check online, check the hotel and hostel, buy them before you actually go to the attraction. Next tip, Bring tissues wherever you go, okay? Wet ones or white ones, it doesn't really matter. Singapore is a humid country, we're in the tropics, so you need this to actually wipe yourself up and keep clean all the time. But there's another thing about tissue papers that you may not know. This is a local custom. This is how we reserve a seat or a table at a food center or at a hawker center. We take this, we place it on a table, on a chair, to tell to other people that is in a food court, hey, I'm coming back to get my seat. And you just go, hover around, buy your food, come back with a tray of food, and your seat will still be there waiting for you. So that's a little tip, and of course the advice to you is, if you see a packet of tissue on a table, on a chair, please don't sit there. Someone will be coming back, or take it, because someone will be coming back to claim that seat or that table.
Nice.
Next tip, join the queue. In Singapore, we are very obedient customers. If there's a place that we like to buy the food off or buy certain products from the shop, we'll join the queue to make it easier for the shop to serve us. So if you do see when you are in a food court, there's a huge line of people waiting for something, chances are, really good food, you won't go wrong if you were to join it. Please note, sometimes it may not be for a food establishment, sometimes you might just be joining the queue to the toilet or to buy a lottery ticket. So just make sure which queue are you joining, okay? Next tip, drinks, okay? Our national beer is Tiger beer, okay? 500 ml pint of Tiger beer at one of the more established clubs or bars may cost you about $16 to $18 a glass. Yes, that's right. $16 to $18 a glass, a pint of Tiger beer. It can be a little bit pricey to go out clubbing in Singapore, but there's a cheaper way. The clubs and bars in Singapore welcome you to go outside, sometimes to smoke, sometimes to meet up with your friends outside, and you are allowed to come back in without joining the queue again. You would have a rubber stamp on your hand. And that's when you go outside, you can pop to the local convenience shop, a 7-Eleven, buy a cheap drink. Drinking on the streets of Singapore, perfectly legal. You don't have to worry a thing, just don't create a mess. Just make sure you dispose of your used cans and bottles after and don't leave them lying about. So that's a good tip when you go out clubbing, how to buy cheap drinks and have a great night. Okay. Next tip, you want to have a great view of Singapore. You don't have to go to expensive attractions that's on the top of commercial buildings. Actually, we have a mass housing program called HDB, and these tall apartment blocks are spread out across the country. Our mass housing social apartment blocks, they are not gated. You can just enter into the building, take the lift up to the top floor, and you have a stunning view of the whole district. So popular tourist attractions districts like Chinatown, Little India, and even parts of Kampong Glam would have tall commercial and residential blocks there. So pop up there to have the free view of the whole neighborhood. And sometimes if you're lucky enough, like in this neighborhood, you can actually get views from the top of the building to see Indonesia and Malaysia on the same floor. Okay. Last tip, I love food, and for that, when I'm on holiday, I love to visit the markets. Okay. Do make sure, because Singapore is a multiracial, multi-religious country, and for that, we are obsessed. Okay. One of my favorite things that I like looking at, strangely enough, when I go to supermarkets, I love instant noodles. And here you go. Here are some of our instant noodles that's actually available here. And in the local supermarkets here in Singapore, actually one whole aisle, one whole row of shelves is dedicated just to instant noodles. So let me do a bit of promotion of like local instant noodles. This is currently the most expensive instant noodles you can buy in Singapore. It is 5 Singapore dollars a packet, but this is awesome. Made in Singapore, of famous things like curry and of laksa. Okay, so buy Singapore, buy local, taste our local foods. So these are my 10 tips for Singapore. So make time to come and visit Singapore. If you want more information, you can always drop NG a line, and NG will help me to give some answers to post on the blog. Okay? Welcome to Singapore, everyone. Singapore, we are Singapore.